Hello, my beautiful humans. My name is Rose, and I write books and read them in an audiobook format for you to enjoy while doing homework or whatever you enjoy doing. This artwork in the thumbnail is actually done by me, and I really hope you like it. Today's chapters are 5, 6, and 7, so without further ado, let's go, as this is going to be a long one. Chapter 5. Into the Sunset. Luca went home to pack, while Alice sat on Willow's bed watching her pack everything she needed. "Do you want me to pack you some clothes?" "No, don't worry." "You sure?" "Honestly, the less everyone carries, the better. I can deal with wearing the same clothes. We just need to pack a needle and thread." "Okay." Willow searched under her bed and pulled out a black thread and a needle, and then put it in her bag and plonked it on her shoulder. "Here's a sleeping bag." She handed Alice the bag. "You'll need it." She smiled. I want you to be comfortable." "But what about you?" Alice said. "I have another one, don't you worry." "Oh, okay, good." They packed the rest in silence. Even though she'd only known Willow for 2 days, she considered Willow her best friend, mostly because she didn't really have any others. Alice had always struggled with making friends. She found people complicated and hard to understand. However, with Willow, there was no confusion or annoyance. Willow was kind, quirky in the best way, and sweet, and Alice liked her a lot. When they touched, electric static tingled and buzzed. Her sweet voice would make a city fall asleep. Yes, Alice did like her a lot. "Are you ready?" Willow said, standing, looking at her. Yeah, I'm ready." "All right, let's go." They walked to meet Will and Luca in the living room. Luca was carrying a small blade around his waists, and William was holding a large sword. "Should we have brought weapons?" Alice asked. "We are facing the most powerful being in this world. Yes, you should have brought a weapon," William said. "I'll just grab a gun, just in case. I probably won't need it, though," Willow said. "Why not?" "Well, I'll show you outside." "Okay." Alice didn't press her, just like she didn't question how they had so many weapons. People got them so they could hunt for food when food shortages happened, and if they ever got in a fight. "I'm trained in combat, but can I have a staff?" Alice said. Alright." William brought out a perfectly straight staff with weights on each end. "Can we go?" Willow whined, obviously bored. Once they were all outside, Willow made everyone go behind her, and then she placed an old brick on the ground in front of her. She clenched her fists and then splayed her fingers wide. The air shimmered and the brick shot across the grey broken floor, away from them. Slowly, she spread her arms far apart, and the brick broke into tiny little pieces. "How the hell did you get your power?" Alice demanded. "We lived in the centre of town when we were younger, next to a posh hotel, the place where Dark Rose was staying. And when she killed all those people on Devastation Day, her power kind of radiated into us. We don't really know how it worked, but we have a power, and the only difference is we use it for good." "Holy hell. How come I am only just finding this out?" Luca asked. "Well, you never asked where we got it from," William said. 3, 2, 1, race you! And they started running into the ombre sunset. Chapter 6. Understandable Anxiety. They set up camp after around an hour of running. No one had said where they were racing to, and so everyone just kept on running until Will collapsed, whining that humans were not made for exercise. They all laughed at him, but set up camp anyway. Luca set out the blankets and hid all their weapons in a hole under everyone's bed, while Willow and Alice walked together to collect firewood. Willow throwing winks at her after saying a witty line. They shared banter like they'd known each other for years. The firelight had dimmed so much that the moon was giving off more light when Alice woke. She looked around to see Willow crying. "Are you okay?" Alice asked softly. "Sorry, did I wake you?" No, you didn't. Are you okay?" I'm scared. What if this all fails? I don't want to see the people I love die. I don't want to see you die." She glanced, nervous, at Alice. Alice gripped Ivy in her hand for comfort. She wasn't sure what to say, so all she did was shuffle towards her friend and pulled her into a hug. "But what if we succeed?" was all Alice said to comfort Willow. "I know you're putting a lot on the line. We all are. But if we succeed, the world will be a better place. We will have changed the world. If we fail, others will try again. We have to do this. We must try." "You should become a motivational speaker," Willow murmured into her shoulder. "I know, I'm fabulous." They both suppressed laughter so not to wake the others. Willow pulled away and saw Alice's favourite toy clenched in her hand. "What's that?" "My parents gave it to me when I was young. I keep it around because it reminds me of them. It's the only thing I have." "I'm so sorry." They talked until they fell asleep, hugging each other for warmth and comfort. Chapter 7. The Visit of Dark Rose. The morning was bright and hot, even though the sun hadn't fully rised yet, and Alice woke up, startled by Willow shaking her. I'm up, Alice mumbled, slowly sitting up. "Pack up! Now!" Willow's voice was frantic and panicked and shaking with fear. "What's wrong?" Alice said, suddenly wide awake. "One of Dark Rose's robots is near. William saw it while getting our breakfast. We don't have long. We have to hurry. Now!" Alice got up and gathered her things. "Don't leave anything. Ink can track you by your smell," Alice said while stuffing Ivy in her sleeping bag. Once everyone had packed everything, they set off, sprinting towards the dark city yet again. Every muscle was aching and whining, and they weren't even halfway yet. Ink didn't chase after them, but they didn't stop running. Willow was terrified, as this was the first time she had seen its face. She had only seen it from behind, apparently. "Why are we still bloody running?" Luca wheezed. "It hasn't even chased after us." "He's right," Willow said, shaking from exhaustion. They all slowed to a stop and looked at Alice. "What?" Alice asked, self-aware. "You knew exactly what to do." "How?" Luca asked, suspiciously. "Yeah, how did you know what to do?" "You didn't tell them?" Alice asked, looking at Willow. "When would I have?" "I didn't think it would come up," Willow said sheepishly, and Alice glared. "We're going to kill her. How could it not come up?" "I don't know." Alice sighed. "I was trapped under my mum for 4 days after she killed them, on Devastation Day. She found me, helped me, raised me for 2 years, but when I found out who she was, I ran away, and ever since she's been trying to get me back, but I didn't stop running, and that's how I know her battle tactics, and how I know to fight, and how I know to run away from the robots." She paused, waiting for their reaction. "You're the child of Dark Rose?" Luca asked. "Yes, she made me call her Rose." "You ran away?" William asked. "Yes." "How long have you been running?" Since I was 11, so around 5-ish years, I guess." "Wow." Will breathed and then turned to Willow. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I didn't think you'd heal her, and I liked her, so I didn't want to ruin her chances. Also, I wasn't sure whether she wanted me to tell you." "But I'm your brother," he said. He sounded hurt, like he'd been betrayed. I know, I'm sorry." Willow looked at her shoes. "It's okay, but no secrets from each other, no matter how big or small. Agreed?" "Agreed. Shall we carry on?" Luca huffed. "If we lose this daylight, we'll be travelling at night, and I don't fancy being eaten by wolves." "Point taken. Let's go." "And where do you think you're going, Alice?" A man jumped out of the dark alleyway. He held a deep dagger stained with dry blood. "Hello, James," Alice said, clearly irritated. "How much is the bounty now?" 12 million, darling." He lunged at her with the dagger, but she jumped into the air, kicking outwards, the heel of her shoe hitting him right on his jaw. She ran up the wall next to them and leaped, wrapping her legs around his neck and pulled him to the floor. The dagger fell out and she grabbed it and stabbed him in the neck. More men came out and went for her, but Willow pushed at the air and a few went head first into the wall, unconscious before they hit the ground. Luca went at a blonde, muscly one with his knife and killed him within seconds. Will pressed his palms together and merely touched his attacker, and then they folded in on themselves. Alice brought her staff from her back and spun it slowly as she approached a large girl with muscles stretching her shirt. Alice dropped to the floor, using her staff to sweep the large girl off her feet, and then knocked her out with a swing to the head. Alice finally got the hand of her new weapon, and she spun, kicking and jabbing at people and finishing them off with a hit of the staff. Somewhere along the way she lost the staff, so Alice ran up a wall, spun, kicking out both her feet. A toe zeroed in on a girl's nose and she fell, and Alice kicked her head, knocking the poor girl out. The girl's head gave a sickening crunch as it was smashed to the ground. When she was done with everyone, she realised that all her friends were looking at her. "Badass," Willow said in wonder. "You can fight." "Thank God," Luca said. "Cool," was all Willow said, with a hint of a smile. "Shall we go?" Alice said, not liking the attention. She preferred it when she was being ignored. "All right, let's go," Will and Lucas said together. Willow took her hand. "I like you more and more I get to know you," she whispered in Alice's ear. "Thanks," Alice said back. They walked through the desert and abandoned towns that smelled of petrol and smoke, until they came across a small field. Alice hadn't seen green grass in a long time. Most of it was grey and dead, much like everything else. "Is that?" Willow asked. "Grass?" Will finished. "Oh my gosh!" Lucas squealed happily and rolled on it. Everyone, including Alice, joined him rolling. Alice couldn't remember a time she had fun like this, and so she enjoyed every last minute of it. They sat on a hill and ate some potted sweet corn that Luca had brought. As the sun melted into the horizon, they talked about their past and their parents and Luca's sister, who was 3 when she died on Devastation Day. She had to excuse himself halfway through the conversation, and Will followed to make sure he was okay. They were gone for around half an hour, and then they came back. Will was looking happy and excited, although he was trying to hide it, and Luca was doing his best to be positive, but sadly failing. He gave a small wavering smile, eyes tinted red. He sat down and looked at the stars. They all waited for him to say something, but when he didn't, Willow got up. "Everyone, is it possible to make a toast without a drink?" she asked. "Probably not," Alice said. "Yes," Will rolled his eyes at Alice. "Fab, then I shall propose a toast." She raised her hand like she was holding a wine glass. "To getting halfway to saving the world." "If we succeed," Luca added, only half joking. "Shut up and let me make this toast," Willow said, smiling at him, and they all cracked up laughing. "Should we set up camp somewhere near here?" "I don't want to set fire to the grass, though," William said, feeling the grass with his hand. "Me neither," Luke said. "Then we won't have a fire," Willow said happily. "How will we keep warm?" "My mum used to tell us about this type of animal called penguins. They huddle together to keep warm." Luca glanced at William. "Could we do that?" "Sounds good," Willow said, and Alice looked at Alice. "Would you be comfortable doing that? You have only just met us." "I'm fine with it." Alice smiled, actually quite liking the idea. They huddled with some blankets underneath them and the rest on top. They tried their best to stay warm, but they were failing spectacularly. Finally, after loads of shivering, they all fell asleep. Alice woke to see a dark-haired woman looking down at her. She yelped, but her mouth was covered by the woman's hand. "Hello, darling. Long time no see," Dark Rose said, a smile on her lips. "Come now, unless you want to see your friends die." Alice knew she wasn't bluffing, so she did what she was told. Trying not to wake Willow up, she walked away. They were just out of earshot, so they would not wake the others. "Why are you here?" Alice's guard was up, ready to scream or punch, whichever was most appropriate. "What? I can't pop round to see my daughter when I miss her," Dark Rose said innocently. "Not when she doesn't like you, and I am not your daughter. I never will be," Alice growled. "Now, Summer, that hurts my feelings. What have I ever done to you?" "You killed my real parents. Don't call me Summer." Alice readied herself for a fight that didn't come. "Summer, come home." "No." "Why not?" Alice used to force her to call her Rose, and that habit was still in place. "Because you're a murderer, and you killed my parents. Because you're fucking evil. I want you dead, and that's what I'm going to do, Rose." "Fine. I'm ready for the battle. Are you?" And then Dark Rose raised an eyebrow, smirked, and she was gone. Hello, I hope you enjoyed those chapters. They were a lot of fun to write and read. Leave your opinions or any requests in the comments. I'm really interested in hearing it. Thank you so much for 6 followers as well. That means a lot to me that 6 people are listening to my book. So yeah, thank you so much for all the support. There will, in this video there are some whooshes going past. Sorry, I'm in a different recording place at the moment because the other one is unavailable. So yeah, sorry about that, but hopefully next week it'll be all fine. Anyway, so I hope you have a lovely week, and thank you so much for getting this far, and if you're still listening, I can't thank you enough. Anyway, have a lovely week, and I'll see you next week. Bye!